I'm Umer Ghumman. I'm working as a Senior Director Country Head for Samsung Mobiles. Been here for the last 9 years. Before that, I've worked for Tetra Pak for 17 years, and before that, I was in the advertising industry. So my career can be divided into 3 different chunks. One is the communication, advertising. The other one is the packaging, marketing, sales, business development. And was the food industry. So communication, food, and now I'm in the tech industry. So I've gone through quite a lot of ups and downs, failures, success, name it. But I would say it was all a learning session, which has made me a better person. So here I am working for Samsung, being nominated among the 100 top leaders in Samsung world under SELF, Samsung Electronics Leadership Foundation program, among the 100 top leaders in the world. And when they asked me the story of my life, I also found out that all the failures that taught me a lot. So what I learned in the first 20 years in my career, I applied those learnings and I did not repeat those mistakes. And as luck would have it, I became a person who was much more needed, much more respected, and much more trusted. And in return, it was a 360-degree valuation. 4 or 5 years, people kept on giving the highest voting. And as it unfolded, I turned out to be one of those people who was shortlisted. Now you would be asking, what happened? So starting off, coming from a middle class background, obviously you do not have a lot of resources to go to the top universities. So started off from second year, eventually went to LUMS, attended courses at Harvard. That's later, but what was behind all the struggle and the efforts, that was quite a lot. So when we graduated from a second-year university, which has now become a top tier, among the top tier, it was a college, turned into university later. So we weren't accepted in the multinationals easily, weren't accepted at all. So I started off with the advertising industry and kept marching forward, kept learning. The opportunity came in Tetra Pak, went and I got selected based on the presentation. I was not the natural choice, not among the top guys. I was a wild card. They just put like as a filler, and I stole the show in the presentation. And that's how it happened. If you want, I can tell you the story, what happened in the interview, and that can be very, very helpful for the kids. So I was working for the advertising industry. So I used to continue to evaluate, evolve myself, read the materials. At that point in time, we used to get the VHS cassettes in which the campaign planning workshop videos were there. So I was doing how to come up with a positioning statement, how to come up with sales pitch to get a client on board. So I had seen a complete video where one of the biggest brands hired one of the biggest agencies, and it was in the most dramatic way. And the drama was, I'll tell you the crescendo over here, and I'll tell you what I did in the interview. So the thing was, the advertising agency presents the whole case to brands for the likes of probably Nike or something, and they present it, and then they say, we so much want you to put us as your advertising agency, and just have a surprise for you. They just open the window and they see about hundreds of employees of that advertising agency holding a placard and saying, "Take us home." And the client was impressed and they took them on board. That was one of the biggest wins in those times. So I go for the interview. I was not expecting that they would ask me to. I did not do a sales job before. I was mostly client servicing, account management guy. So they said, this is a brochure of Tetra Pak. Use it. Learn anything you want. You have 30 minutes. You learn everything and you prepare a sales pitch for Shazan bottles to come into Tetra Pak cartons. You got 30 minutes. And support material, in those times, we did not have PPTs. So we had those acetates. आजकल के बच्चों के लिए transparent sheets हैं जिसके ऊपर आप हाथ से लिखते हैं, then you put it on the projector. Just gave it to me and they just went out, and I was like looking at everything, and so I prepared. They said, come in. I was there and there was a panel and I was presenting, and I said to them, look, In order to sell Tetra Pak to Shazan, I am a sales manager, and I would like to have a proposition for you people that, you have a glass bottle right now, and I've done some research, and there are thousands of people who are getting injured because of these glass bottles. Breakages are there, the shelf life does not sustain, and secondly, the transportation is very difficult. And if you go to the end consumers, opening bottle is very, very difficult. So I just opened the bottle with a lot of acting. Oh, this is very, very difficult. I can't open it. Look, this is very difficult. Just put it. And contrary, this is a Shazan juice. I just poured the straw in it, and I started drinking. Look, this was so easy. And they were just looking at me. I said, is that all? No, there is a lot more. I just need to show you something. So they said, can I open the window? In the interview, I opened the window. And I said, look outside. There are 100 people standing outside, holding this placard, take us home. Tetra Pak wants Shazan to take us home. And I just put it. There was a silence for a few minutes. I acted well. I did analysis. I articulated that well. That still happens to be one of the best presentations I've ever done in my life, the most successful one, life-changing experience. And there onwards, I never looked back. I got into Tetra Pak, 17 years, ups, downs, promotion, demotions, ridicule, name a thing that could happen to me, that happened to me, because I was good at presentations. So I was able to sell myself more effectively. So they promoted me to a marketing manager when I was 31 years of age. And so I had the intelligence, but I did not have the emotional intelligence to handle that position. So what happened? Falter, make enemies, become arrogant. I fail, then get demoted, get a smaller position, go to Egypt, come back, and to add insult to injury, I left, and I had to hand over the department to someone. When I came back, I was put under the guy for 5 years, and there was a financial meltdown going on in the country. 2008-9, financial meltdown, no jobs in the market, and no top of the line university degree. And that's where I started realizing, house on mortgage, without salary, I cannot survive a day. I come back, they demote me, and then they reduce my salary. And somebody was really, really enjoying this, or doing this to me. And these people, they actually had decided 3 months back that before I come, and they will. So what they did was, they cut my 3 months salary. And in that month, I did not get the salary. Salary was pretty good, but the house mortgage was like 40% of what I was taking home. And in that month, we did not have the money. And what do? So we went out, sold a little bit of jewelry, put the kids in school. It looks very easy, but it was very emotional. And I was distressed, I was unhappy, but it was people who were doing this to me, not the company. They wanted to put me as an example, but I said, never give up. I'm gonna do it. So I just kept going forward. And then eventually 2012, 14, the same company was nice. So I said, I want to go for the executive MBA program at LAMS. They gave me, and that's where I identified the 30-second window to success. And I also identified why I failed. And why I failed because I was arrogant, I was too quick. I had the intelligence, but I did not have the emotional intelligence to manage it. I did not have the wisdom to manage it. And so I made all these mistakes. Going forward, 2016, I get into Samsung, and I decided one thing: I'm not going to be arrogant. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be working with people. I'm going to just work for people. And as luck would have it, people started working for me. I am the longest serving country head in Samsung Pakistan. I was the first director promoted, CL4-1 level. I'm now recently promoted as CL4-2 level. I think I'm probably the only Pakistani, if not only among the few in the whole group who has reached this far. I don't know of anyone. And now I'm seen as an example to follow. Previously, I was seen as an example not to follow. So that's my life history is, and I've learned quite a lot. I have become humble, I've learned, I'm learning, I now want to give back to society. I'm doing my own book, 30-Second Window to Success. I have my own channel, which is very small viewership. I'm not after likes. All I want to do is, if I'm able to change the life of 1%, I am ready to do that. So if out of hundreds of people who watch my videos, if one person comes and says, you changed my life, I will consider my job is done. And that's what I want. So which means that it is with utter honesty, and my book is all about self-help. It is a collection of all the books I've read, which I'm doing the book reviews for. I'm going to be using all those, the book is called, in a nutshell, a 30-second window to success, but it is not a quick fix. It is not a quick success. It actually tells you how to unlock the potential. Either you're a doctor, you're an engineer, you are a performer, you're an actor, you're a singer, you're a teacher, you are a mom, you are a dad, you're a student, whoever you are, you need to work towards it. You need to have atomic habits. You have to awaken the giant within. You need to have the grit. You need to have the presence. You need to be a 5 a.m. club monk who sold Ferrari. You need to be everyone, and you need to be happier by Tall Man Shire. So you need to be everyone that we see in those books, all those characters coming together for all those professions, and they are actually looking for a 30-second window which exists in thousands. It's more than 3,000 30-second windows of success in a day. Why aren't we successful every day? That's my question. So which means that we have to unlock that potential, we have to work towards that, and if we do that, the future is ours, present is going to be ours, and we'll forget the past. That's all I wanted to say.